What's up, Olympians? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
And this is Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Episode 5, we're in the back half.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
The caboose.
We're in the caboose of the train that Percy Jackson and the team are no longer on because of the Chimera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a manticore tail.
Do you think this episode starts with Percy Anyway, let's just watch it. If you want the full-length reaction, go to patreon.com/nerdynightly. But if you don't, stay here. Because you're already here, and the video is about to begin. Apparently,
your father is here.
In the book, he just jumps to the river from there. And so people have been wondering for, like, decades how Percy Jackson made that jump. It's like a, joke among the community, apparently. Because Rick Riordan just thought that the arch went over the river, I guess. Because he'd never been there. It's very funny.
I love that.
Yeah.
So we should probably get out of here, don't you think?
Interesting.
Oh.
Annabeth.
He's alive. I know it.
Why put them there?
Percy!
So the cops are just letting them leave?
I guess.
Alright. Oh! Okay!
How did he climb up there?
Wasn't he looking at a beach?
Huh?
In the first shot, he was looking at a beach.
And there wasn't enough time.
That's cute.
What happened? Short version, we need to go to Santa Monica. My father's gonna meet me there. He's gonna help us.
Oh, the beach was a vision. Oh.
He was underwater.
I know at the beginning of this episode, he saw
An
the Santa Monica
Amtrak train,
beach.
and then did that.
Yeah, so how did you get away from the police?
Isn't that gonna make it hard for us to get on a train? Or really anything you need tickets for?
Great.
We don't even know who actually stole the thing. Or why. Or how deep this goes.
I'm glad we're finally having this conversation.
I'm not being weird.
Yes, you are. You've been weird since we left the arch.
To be fair, you jumped out of the arch.
It doesn't have to be a thing, you know? They hugged me.
The fates weave the life strand of every living thing. When you see a string cut,
It means one of us is going to die.
We're all gonna die, eventually.
Soon.
That was perfect line delivery.
I asked if you could use some help.
nope. No, we're good.
You don't seem too good.
I wish I didn't know who he was from the trailer.
That's my cousin? What kind of family is this?
The Greeks.
Yeah. They all have American accents. This place has half-decent food. All right.
You never know.
No, these places never have half-decent food. They're either awful or amazing.
Ah, fair.
Although maybe for a Greek god, half-decent is as much of a compliment as he gives. Is he playing Clash of Clans? Raid
Flappy
Shadow
Bird.
Legends.
Give me a second. I'm just starting a fight on Twitter here.
Did they say Twitter? You can't. Elon is going to fight you.
The Oracle said if we returned the bolt, there wouldn't be a war.
Is that what she said? Or is that what Chiron said she meant?
Oh, shit.
You left your shield? Like, forgot it on the merry-go-round?
Okay. The chirping was funny to me for a minute, but it is getting old.
I thought the shield was made up for the movie.
So I'm gonna keep the satyr here as collateral so you don't run off.
What? No.
Okay.
We found what Grover's good for!
Go, get the shield. I'll be here when you get back.
Wow, it took them all day to get there.
They're walking.
Yeah.
I've never seen any kind of movie. I'll have to take your word for it.
Like, her family didn't watch movies?
You're missing out.
Weird.
In the meantime, we should...
She ran away at 7, right? Like, I feel like I watched The Lion King like 9,000 times by the time I turned 7.
Yeah, right? Just to, like, keep you distracted.
Maybe he finds them amusing?
That's really not funny, Annabeth.
It's a little funny.
It's a little funny.
Because weren't you the one this morning who saw the fates say one of us is gonna die and we should take it really seriously?
Percy?
Yeah?
He types like a dad.
Yep.
I prefer the Turbot War. The Lobster War? The 335 Years War. Your deep cuts.
No one talks about those anymore.
They should.
Fun.
That is-
Finally.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Ah, finally.
That's great. I love that.
Yes. He didn't know what a chimera was, but he knows about the Lobster Wars. So you know what, Grover, I'll give it to you.
But does he know about the Boston Tea Party? Don't worry about it.
That probably had something to do with Olympus or some shit in this world. That was the scene I've been waiting for that character this whole show.
Yes.
Ugh. Okay, they're 12. Hephaestus, calm down.
Sure. Let's go check out the scary ghost ride. Why not?
Let me take you to the tunnel of love, dark and romantic inside. The two of us can share the tunnel of love. Please come along for the ride. Does anyone know what that's from? Or just me?
Someone else knows.
What is love?
I feel like I've heard this before. From our orthodontist office, maybe?
Orthodontist office?
Is that Ursula? Oh. Hephaestus was like, I know you're dyslexic, so I'll show it to you in pictures.
Nah, yes.
She was trying to keep me away from you guys.
Can't imagine why.
Well, the gods, you know, the demigods.
Disney's Journey to the Center of the Earth, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Sorry, that was Journey 2, the number 2.
Oh, God.
Because it was the sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is. Ares' shield.
Festus sure put it on display.
Oh, cool. He's learning how to use his powers.
Yeah.
Oh, they're just fine. So
They
in the
did a
commercial break,
commercial break, yeah.
Did you just...
I don't know. Maybe figuring this out as I go.
This might be my favorite episode so far, and also it's kind of the sloppiest in a weird way. Don't touch that chair.
Athena,
What do you mean?
always making things more complicated than they need to be so people will think she's smarter than you.
Bold play.
Thank you. I can't be the only one who sees it, right?
No, not at all.
That she's a genius and I, no owl, am not?
And I, no owl.
Story they like to tell themselves.
Exactly, like you being the one to find the lightning thief and not her.
Oh, Grover, you might have flown too close to the sun.
When I was choosing my team, I told Chiron I needed someone who wouldn't hesitate to sacrifice me if the quest required it. He agreed. That was you.
Cold.
It isn't about that.
What could it possibly be about if it isn't about that?
You're better at this than me. You just are.
I actually don't know that I agree with that.
Well, she's the one who figures everything out, but Percy has random powers.
Yeah, but she's no, like, knowledge of the outside world, and... Like, she knew where a temple to Athena was, but it didn't work because Athena's mad at her, so that was, like, her one play.
I was gonna say, when this quest is done, can you maybe swing back here and try to get me out of this thing?
You think you had to ask?
What's more useful, though? Ares' help or the three of them together?
Well, I don't think they're going to let Grover leave. I would have just left Grover. You know.
Rude. But yeah.
It's what he's good for.
Oh, Penny.
I'm so kidding.
He's got
Please
some good
don't jump.
shit
I was a joke. Don't jump down my throat.
going on.
This is a bad idea. Stand up.
It's a little late for that.
I'm...
Damn. Do you think he got to keep the golden statue of himself? I would want that set piece. But guys, can I take this home?
In your house?
Robert Downey Jr. got the golden, or got the A from the Avengers sign.
Yeah,
Can I
but
please have the...
It's not a replica of you. Like, would never have a gold statue of myself in the near vicinity.
It's kind of a one-way sort of thing. It can't be undone.
How do you know?
Because I built it.
What's up, dude? It's the king from fucking Gallivant. And Psych, and, like, I fucking love him. Why can't I think of his name right now?
Gallivant.
That fucking mustache.
It's pretty great.
Maybe I was that way once. But I don't want to be that way anymore.
She's still the best part of the show.
Yeah.
She's crushing it. Rewarded for character development. We love to see it. It's a good thing he can hold his breath for a very long time. I saw the movie. He's underwater for like 7 minutes.
He can't hold his breath.
I'm
he can
so kidding.
breathe
I'm so
underwater.
kidding. I know. I know. It was a joke.
You're a good kid, Annabeth. I'll put in a good word with your mom for you.
Cool. Is this how this all plays out in the book?
Don't remember.
I'm trying not to read ahead, but I'm so curious.
Like the middle part of the book here, like it's...
Yeah. Fugazi. Kindness International. Live animals.
You're kidding.
Dude, the FBI's after you. You don't get to be picky.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Your dad had plenty of kids he stopped caring about once he lost interest.
You think you know who I am, but you don't. And if you aren't careful, you're gonna find out.
Let's go, Percy. This threatened the god of war. What could go wrong?
Nothing.
I know who stole the Master Bowl.
Well, dang.
I guess we don't have to go to Hades anymore?
Well, Percy's mom's still there.
Yeah, but, like, she's gonna be there forever? And the Master Bowl has to be returned by, like, Thursday.
Sure, priorities.
Like...
Yeah. I hear you.
It's not like her, like, soul gets locked in the underworld after the solstice?
Sure. But here's the thing. You're going to take the ride anyways, because otherwise you're stuck at a diner in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
At least you can get to Hermes, and he's got a personal driver, so.
Yeah.
That was fun. I like that episode better than last week.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially the character stuff. Thank you for giving Grover something interesting. Like that was honestly a treat to watch.
Yeah.
Like I think that I wonder if a part of that was Grover's audition.
Oh, that scene?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
It honestly depends on how they wrote the show, though. Because they might have auditioned off dialogue from the books, which happens a lot in stuff like this. But
I just feel like that clicked. It
was just because it was the first time they showed that Grover's been active.
Yeah,
and it was really honestly so nice. Because again, I've never had a problem with the actor. I've never had a problem with the casting. I think that he's a charming kid, right? It's just been that this character has been so kind of weirdly pointless. Mm-hmm. And
yes,
and in scenes where it felt like he should have been the character who knew what was going on the most.
Yeah.
And in this scene, he does. And his success in this scene is that he is the character who knows what's going on the most. Mm-hmm. He just hasn't shared any of that with anybody up until now for some reason, right? Yeah. And I think that it is the adaptation being a little sloppy in some of its storytelling, mm-hmm. that it doesn't need to be. There's ways to have them get away from the police at the beginning of this episode that just have it be the mist or have it just be something. But to have them be like, oh no, the police are looking at us because they think that we are terrorists who blew up the St. Louis Arch. And then they casually walk away, run into Percy 50 feet away. And
here's the thing.
The police are after us. And it's like, what do you mean?
Here's the thing.
There's no urgency in it.
We didn't even see them casually walk away. And so that's what we assume. Because it's like, well, I haven't been told any different. They're like, oh, we just need to leave. And suddenly they're in a different place. And then suddenly they're in the middle of nowhere. They go from being in downtown St. Louis to the middle of nowhere. Well, no, you can see where they go.
No, I mean, so they go to the pier to where Percy climbs out of the water, right? Uh-huh. And finds them somehow.
Oh, and then they go.
And then they are in the middle of, they are a 5 or 6 hour walk to the middle of nowhere after they have been in St. Louis in the middle of the day, mm-hmm. right? So they've walked to the middle of nowhere, at which point Ares runs into them. They go into a diner, have a conversation with him. Then it is the middle of the night. It's just sloppy in a way that it doesn't need to be. Mm-hmm. It could this whole episode just could have been a little bit cleaner, mm-hmm. and it's fine because I also think it might be the best episode of the show so far. It feels like the cast is really clicking. Annabeth crushed it. Yeah. I think that Percy had the most personality of any of the episodes that we've had so far. There's a lot of ways in which I think that this is the best of what this show has done. Yeah. But it's not escaping from what I think are the limiting factors on the series as a whole. Yeah.
And I think that those aren't going anywhere and that we're just going to have to... Yeah.
But I think what's also interesting about the show is that Gabe is a weirdly sympathetic figure in this version, and I don't like that.
Sympathetic how?
I don't blame Gabe. Gabe isn't the bad guy in this world. Yes, he's blaming his stepson, right, for what's going on, but his stepson also so Percy disappeared. They found the car crashed. Mm-hmm. They don't know about Camp Half-Blood. All Gabe knows is that his difficult stepson, who keeps getting kicked out of schools, crashed the car. His mom is dead, and he just found out from the FBI that his son, who he thinks is a delinquent, blew up the St. Louis Arch. If I was Gabe in this situation, him being I think that he killed my wife, is not that far from reality for him. And because he's not that bad at the beginning to Percy compared to what he's in the books, right? Mm-hmm. He's awful in the book. Yeah. Him being kind of giving Percy shit, but barely compared to what he is. Here I'm yeah, dude, I get it. If my wife and my stepson left in the middle of the night and the police showed up at my door and were hey, we found your car. It was crashed in a ditch. Yeah. Also, we think that your stepson's a terrorist. I would be Gabe. I'd be my life is awful. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it is a weird, Disney Plus-ified enigma of this series. Yeah.
He's just not that bad. Especially because he's kind of mean until Sally's in the room and he's like, I'm sorry, I'm yelling. And then he says it quieter and a little bit politer. And that's the moment where I'm like, oh, you've made him not a dick.
Mm-hmm.
He's just, they kind of have a weird vibe. And like, I know couples that kind of have a weird vibe, but they're very happy together. Right? And so now, if I was in Gabe's shoes and I only had the information that Gabe has.
Yeah.
My stepson climbed the fucking thing. The mist is hiding the fact that there was a chimera with him, and he blew up the St. Louis Arch while he was by himself in there because the other two people, the cameras can't see because of the mist, right?
Yeah.
Gabe is just weirdly, like, I hate to say Gabe's done nothing wrong, but he kind of hasn't. And it's because they made him less intolerable at the beginning.
Yeah, he's kind of just a bit of a shit.
Yeah.
Like, not like a great parent.
But he's a bit of a... And one of the differences between the book and the show is after Percy gets expelled, I mean, he doesn't get expelled, right? He gets asked not to come back to the school the next year. But after the library incident, he's there for the rest of the semester, and he comes home at the end of the semester, right? And so when Gabe is being awful to him, it is just on another day. In the show, because he gets expelled in his home the same day, he comes home with Gabe having the knowledge of Percy Jackson assaulted a girl at school today. And so when he's being mean to Percy... He's being mean in a situation where, like, if I assaulted a girl at my school and got expelled for it, my mom would fucking lose it.
Yeah.
Right? We would have family meetings. I would be in family counseling. Like, there would have been massive repercussions for that, for coming home that day. Yeah. My mom would have yelled at me for an hour and a half. And you know what? I would have deserved it, right? Yeah. I shoved a girl into a fountain and got expelled. That's huge. Mm-hmm. And so by putting Gabe and his interaction at the beginning of this, Gabe is... kinder to him than my mom would have been to me, and my mom is a fucking great mom. Is kinder to him than my mom would have been, and is not mean. He doesn't smell that bad. His clothes aren't that dirty. Our apartment isn't disgusting.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a sterilized version of him.
But now this part, I kind of feel bad for him. Like, his wife is just dead, and his stepson is a terrorist. And, like, that is like, can you imagine waking up to that? The cops at your door being like, we need to ask you about Percy Jackson. He blew up the St. Louis Arch. That's insane. And he's just a human. There's no way that he can even know that it's fake.
Yeah.
Because it's all hidden behind fucking magic. Like, I feel bad for Gabe and I don't want to.
Yeah.
And I honestly feel weird about it. Because I'm like, this poor guy, he doesn't deserve this. And book Gabe definitely does, but this Gabe doesn't, and it's weirding me out. Like I don't know. I feel strange because I'm like, God, this poor man.
Yeah.
He's just at home being like, they crashed my car, and then my wife died, and now my stepson's a terrorist. What did I do to deserve this?
But it's a bad day.
It's very strange.
Yeah.
It's very strange to me, and I'm curious like what they adapt about, because I'm assuming Gabe comes back in the book. I don't know. But, like, I'm assuming how they adapt that, given this version of him is just kind of, like, maybe not the best dude in the world, but he's not the worst. Book Gabe steals Percy's money. Like, Percy comes home, and Gabe holds him, like fucking, is like a fucking mobster being like, give me your lunch money, kid. Yeah. I know you took the cab, so you're gonna give me everything in your pockets. And this Gabe is like, hey, so you got expelled, huh, you fucking idiot? Like, it's barely mean in comparison.
Yeah.
And there I'm like, I have sympathy for this man, and I feel weird about it.
Yeah.
Am I totally off base here? Am I like...
No, it's a weird choice. I thought so at the beginning when I like defended the choices that they made, I was like, they made it a safer environment. And I can understand the argument for it, but because they keep bringing him back on the TV,
and he's the Oracle, like
he's the Oracle?
he like in the Oracle scene, he was the Oracle, right?
Oh, sure, it was just familiar. I don't know. It's weird. I don't think it is the right choice.
I don't think that I'm supposed to feel bad for him. I think that I'm supposed to laugh at him.
Yeah,
but I'm not,
because he's like, my car, we loved that car. Oh,
which
like,
sure, like he's not the best guy.
Yeah.
But this situation is still worse than my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Right? For him. And he's never, he hasn't really done anything to deserve it.
Yeah.
He's kind of a dick. That's like the worst of him. He's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
You know, and like I don't think that being kind of a dick means that you should have your life absolutely ruined like this.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
Yeah, I hear you.
But that's one side of it. The other side of it, Aries, that was fun, man.
That was really fun.
I love that he's having war on Twitter. That's so funny.
He is the shitposter. Like, he is the creator of rage bait. You know what I mean? Clickbait titles. Aries writes them all, 100%.
Well, but he's on both sides. You know that he has an Andrew Tate Stan account and like the most like
he
hardcore
has, like,
feminist account.
12 accounts. You know what I mean? So that he can fight with himself and get other people fighting.
Yeah.
100%. And it works, I'm telling you. The effects look cool. The gold chair looks really cool.
Yeah. I thought all of that looked good.
Especially like the lights in the tunnel, like the story. I liked it.
I wish they didn't hide them getting out of the water in the cut to commercial.
Yeah.
I didn't like that cut.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
And that's kind of where because I said like I think this might be my favorite episode, and also there's some sloppiness, like stuff like that feels weird.
Yeah, those moments are a little jarring.
The entire first chunk of the episode, like geography wise, felt very strange. Like because I was very confused about this beach for longer than I wanted to be.
The beach?
Yeah, like here, there's like a beach here.
That's a concrete wall.
You guys can't see what we're looking at, but we're looking at the opening shot is like Percy in the middle of this river.
He's in the water where he landed.
Sure. But then the next time we see him, he just climbs out on this pier directly in front of them. And it just...
Yeah, but they're not anywhere near the arch anymore.
Yeah, but like you could have literally just had them run to the edge of that pier and be looking out and be like, Percy, over here. And then he climbs up where they are. And it would have just felt a little bit cleaner. You know what I mean? Like you organize this scene so that one of them just points into the water where we know Percy is. It's like, Percy, this way, the cops are coming. And he climbs up and there's some urgency and they get out of that scene with some urgency. This show it's really lacking in urgency.
Oh, that I do feel. It's very languid.
We're good. We're gonna walk everywhere we go, man.
The weird thing about him climbing out is that thing looks like it's 40 feet in the air.
No, it's like 8.
From that shot?
From
that shot.
At the end of the last episode, Percy Jackson... Just press play. Oh, yeah, it's already there. Just press play. It'll go to that.
Oh, okay.
It's just buffering. At the end of the last episode, a giant hand of water booped him into the sky.
Yeah,
out of the sky.
But we didn't see that. He just climbs over the railing, and I was like, wait, how the fuck did you do that? Fuck.
Yeah, I think that for how... Here, let's just refresh page. For how quick these episodes are, I'm surprised at how, like, languishing sometimes the pacing of the scenes feels.
Yeah.
I think the kids are doing a really good job with the dialogue and the direction they've been given. Mm-hmm. I just wish that the scenes felt a little bit more like people cared more about the scenes.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of feels like it could go either way. And I get that that's Aries' thing, but everybody kind of feels that way.
Yeah.
And I think that if there was just a little bit more urgency, I would be more invested. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. That's a weird thing that I can't put my finger exactly on why I don't love it, you know? But there is something in the pacing of all of it that just feels a little bit like the stakes aren't as high as it feels like they are. Yeah. Does that make sense?
I feel that 100%.
But like at the end of the day, like Annabeth is so good that like I'm enjoying the show. I think she's fantastic. Yeah. And I'm excited for her career. I'm hopeful that Walker starts reacting to things a little bit more. It kind of seems like the things happening to Percy, he kind of has like one reaction. And the first time I was like, oh, he's a really good actor. And now he's kind of, I hate to say this because he's a kid, mm-hmm. but it's a little one note for how big the things he's getting involved are. And I just wish that he could I wish that he felt the freedom to open up a little bit more to the scope of the series that he's in. Because sometimes he's like, oh, it's a chimera. Yeah, I'm going to have to fight that. And I'm like, okay.
Like, it's like, always this like slight exasperation and never like, holy shit, like
he never seems surprised by anything.
Yeah.
And I just wish there were a little bit more variety in him right now.
Yes.
In a way that I think that Annabeth brings, and so I'm
100%.
gravitating towards her more.
Yeah. I'm not saying that like I don't like that exasperation, but you're right, the variety that I'm looking for sure. I can't get the thing to load, but yeah, it like I don't know, it looks like he climbs. Like...
It's a tall pier, but he has magic water powers, so.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel really weird about the show because on the one hand, like it's fun.
Yeah.
But and also like there a couple of tweaks and I feel like it could have been really wonderful.
Yeah, it's a little rough around the edges, but I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm having fun watching it. I'm not like, oh, and even some of the like rough edges I can laugh at and we can talk about and they're not like detrimental. The show is pretty good. It's not blowing me away and that just is what it is.
Yeah. That's what it is. I'm curious to go catch up in the book now because I'm like, I really thought the shield was invented for the movie. Because that's what the comments all said when I was like, oh, what about the shield? And now the shield's in here. But they didn't take the shield with them. Maybe them having the shield with them is from the movie.
Yeah, them just being handed a fucking shield was not...
Can we go full book spoilers for a second here?
Sure.
So if you... Full book spoilers for the end. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. We're going to go full book spoilers here. Okay? Because I know the end of this. So we're just going to full... I know what happens at the very end.
Yeah.
So full book spoilers. You've been warned multiple times. Mm-hmm. So the bolt is in the backpack, right? Okay. So they just traded the shield for a backpack and a backpack for a shield. But Ares isn't in the movie.
Is not in the movie?
Is he
not at all in the movie?
No, I'm pretty sure they cut Ares.
Well, that doesn't make sense. Then who?
If we don't get a flashback, wait, this should have been before the spoiler section. If we don't get a flashback, it's just Luke. Luke just gives it to him because Luke gives him the shield in Camp Half-Blood and he carries it the whole movie.
Yeah.
If we don't get a flashback to the winter solstice for whatever the presentations are, I'm going to be wildly disappointed in this show.
I want to know what PowerPoint bullshit.
The only one I care about is Annabeth's. What did she present at the winter solstice?
I don't.
And also, how... Yeah, I have so many questions about the winter solstice. I'm glad they finally brought it up. It was nice that it was finally addressed, that happened.
Yeah, but it was done in such an offhand way that...
It was weird because it felt like I really like the scene up until that line where he was like, when we were all at the winter solstice, he should have like turned to the camera and winked.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was fun. I liked Hephaestus. Timothy, you did a great job. I liked a lot about this episode. There was some strong stuff. I feel bad for Gabe, and I don't know how. That's a weird way to end this. If you like the video, like and subscribe to the channel. If you don't, hit the dislike button. Leave mean comments down below because the algorithm god is hungry, and we must feed her. This episode, that algorithm goddess is the only woman in the episode.
Or, it could be Aphrodite, who was basically sold to Hephaestus to be like, you must wife now. To get your mom? Yeah, your mom. Wait, yeah. Out of the chair. Go be married.
Patriarchy. Fucking if you want to follow us around the internet, you can. I'm at Nerdy Nightly.
I'm at Claris Galaris.
Do something nerdy tonight, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.